Spoken
I
name.
haven't thought about flying for a long time. I haven't dreamed of that moment when I was alone above the clouds for a long time. I haven't dreamed of waking up in a room surrounded in blue and green grass for more years than I could dream of remembering. I haven't walked back into the past or scratched on the doors of my origins, where it all came from, since I held up that cape for the last time.
Return to Cape Town 10th Year Anniversary Edition is a revised version of Andy N's first poetry book. The book can be purchased from Amazon and it contains numerous additional material.
Spoken name.
You wake up one morning after not reading a book since your school days and you decide to be a writer. With no good or bad writing to compare against your own. You just know how to write and anyone who tells you otherwise is wrong. Hell, maybe they're jealous of your natural ability to craft the masterpiece. After all, most people need to learn through a combination of books, courses, critical feedback and workshops. Not you though. It's not their fault they don't realise your natural talent, but they soon will.
How to Write Wrong is the new book by Amanda Steele. The book, which is an interactive story, gives the reader multiple options throughout its story. The book can be purchased from Amazon.
Spoken name.
Thank you today for tuning in to Spoken Label. Spoken Label was originally set up at the beginning of 2016 and as of recording has over 200 sessions in our archive. Although the podcast can be heard on Anchor, iTunes, Apple, Spotify, YouTube and literally 10 or 11 other networks, the full archive can be found at Spoken Label, all one word, spokenlabel.bandcamp.com. On Bandcamp, it is set as pay what you want, so you are entitled, if you wish, you can download it or stream it for nothing. But if you throw me a couple of pennies my way, it is always eternally grateful to help me maintain the operating costs and future running costs of this podcast. Enjoy.
Spoken name.
Hi guys, Andy N, Spoken Label, back in the house, boiling hot day in Manchester at the moment. The lady I've got on Zoom at the moment has just been telling me it's 36 degrees where she is. And I'm thinking, I'll be sweating to death at that temperature around here. But it's been a bit of a story here, because I'm chatting to Amy Kean today. And Amy, how many times have we tried running Spoken Label sessions for now? For life and lockdown got in the way. Is it 4 straight times?
4, 5. I can't remember a time in my life, Andy, when we weren't organising this recording. I'm going to miss the organisation more than.
I know, it's crazy because I first heard of you when you published your second book, Bella. Back in the last year it was, and I know I saw the book then at the beginning, back in the last year. And me and Bella both said, "Look, I'd love to talk to you," and it just took us about most of this year, hasn't it, to get it organised really. So, it's just absolutely crazy. But anyway, seriously, Amy, for people that don't know you, do you want to tell everybody who you are, where you come from, and obviously what led you down the path of being a writer that you are? And we'll take it from there.
Oh, okay. Well, my name's Amy Charlotte Kean. I always use my middle name because I always found it weird when people don't. Like it's a secret name that you only say when people ask you what it is. So I use my full name, Amy Charlotte Kean. I've actually I've worked in advertising for the last 16 years. In various different, I've worked for some amazing clients like Sony Music, Nando's, Domino's. I used to work for the BBC.
Oh wow.
And yeah, like and I worked in Asia for a good few years. And so I can quite confidently say that my career until the last couple of years has been extremely shallow. And anyone who's worked in advertising for a really long time knows that it starts to feel a bit soulless. And you look around you and everyone's dealing in like multi-million-pound accounts, thinking that they're in charge of the world, and you're like, Jesus Christ, I need something else. So I started to write a few years ago, just to give myself a purpose, just to get my feelings out just to try and contribute to the world in a nicer way than trying to sell people shit. So that's how I came to poetry and just writing in general, writing fiction.
Really?
My first book is slightly more irreverent than House of Weeds. So a couple of years ago, I released a book called The Little Girl Who Gave Zero Fucks, with the publisher Unbound, which was, and the interesting thing, because I worked in advertising for so long, that it was a product. My first book was a product. It had a quirky title, female audience. It's about empowerment. It's illustrated. It's a shiny thing. Whereas with House of Weeds, which has only just come out, is far more personal and I think meaningful.
Yeah. Now, what I'm interested in knowing also, I know both books have been illustrated by different people. So do you want to elaborate first of all on what made you want to go with these artists on both your books? I've said, I've not seen a load of your first book. I've certainly read all your second book. And it looks like the tone of both is quite substantially different, as you said, in particular the illustrations as well.
Yeah. Well, with The Little Girl Who Gave Zero Fucks, it's like a fake fairy tale. It's like a parody of a fairy tale. And my brief to the illustrator was I wanted a dystopian Millie Molly Mandy. And that's actually absolutely what they delivered. I think because I've worked in advertising, and this is going to sound really cheesy, it's probably going to sound really corny, but rather than just writing books, I like to create experiences. And so that's why the combination of writing and art. Oh, sorry, there's someone in the background.
Don't worry about it. And then when I get Amy losing the words, she's getting put off a little bit. Like I said, I've got myself shut away, so nobody can write with me. My other half won't come and ask us what she really has to speak to me about.
Yeah, so I like to make experiences, and so the combination of art and words is really, really important to me. I feel there's also an element of control when you have illustrations that accompany your writing, because you're kind of telling the reader how you want them to feel. And I had a very specific way that I wanted people to feel when they were reading House of Weeds in particular. House of Weeds, I wanted people to feel like they were on drugs without having to take drugs, which I do not advocate.
No, I mean, you just give people the high by legal means later, don't you, by the books?
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, no, it's a fantastic book, House of Weeds. You published sent it over to what I said at the beginning of this year. And I was really engaged by it, and I thought this is completely. It wasn't what I was expected. That's for sure with it. So, like I said, obviously, like it's the books and books are completely different for books at different times of your life. So, did the second book prove a much more easier book to write than the first one?
Oh God, absolutely. Yeah. So the first book is a labor of love. It's you putting yourself out there. I was working on that for years.
Wow.
House of Weeds took about 6 months. So in terms of how House of Weeds came about, and sorry, you also asked about the illustrator, didn't you?
Yeah.
One of my best friends best friends is a guy called Jack, and he's a gardener. And like a naturist, he is obsessed. He's the most knowledgeable person I know about anything, but he knows everything there is to know about Mother Nature, and weeds are his thing. So he's obsessed with weeds, and the fact that, you know, at some point in the past, hundreds of years ago, a group of people decided that certain flowers were too unruly to be in the garden, and they called them weeds. They're too unruly, they're too rebellious, they're too unpredictable. But weeds are beautiful. The poppy is a weed, buttercups are weeds, fern, ivy. You know, the dandelion is a personal favourite of mine. And so he wrote a book a few years ago about the history of weeds and how beautiful they are and how you can design them. And so he inspired me you know, when he talked about weeds being rebels, weeds being unruly, weeds being shunned, weeds being outcasts, I was like, shit, well, there's nothing more human then. You know, the weed is the human of the botany world. So I started writing these poems based on the weeds in his book, and he's an amazing artist as well. And so we kind of joined forces, and it just clicked. It clicked immediately. It took 6 months start to finish, and now we feel like it's a living thing. It's so weird. I mean, you always kind of bone over your own work, don't you? But we love this little kind of ecosystem that we've created with the people in the house and all the personalities and the characters.
Brilliant. No, brilliant. It's an engaging, vivid book, that's why. So have you done many readings in support of the book yet? Obviously we've been in lockdown, because it came out, didn't it, right when lockdown was about to break. That's really hard for you, that is.
Yes. We've done 2 virtual experiences where people were able to enter the House of Weeds. And it was just on Zoom. But what I did, I'm not too much of a narcissist that I always want to read my own work all the time. So in keeping with the book, which is about loads of different individuals who lived in these safe houses in Peckham between the years of 1897 and 1941, they were shunned by society. They thought differently. They looked differently. Their sexuality wasn't in keeping with society's norms, etc. Both times we did this kind of virtual experience, I got different people to read the poems.
Right.
And we've had the most amazing people read. So I had a hip-hop magician called Magical Bones read at the first one. He's on Britain's Got Talent. I had a TikTok star. I've had poets, authors, broadcasters. It's been amazing.
Oh, that's an amazing experience, definitely. I've had a couple of readings where I've had actors reading my work out before. But Leslie, you've gone and got, it's every single one you're reading is doing it like that. So like each of your experiences like is completely different than basically, isn't it? So do you anticipate when we eventually get out of lockdown? Notice the word when. Do you think eventually, would you like to take this sort of thing on the road with you? You have to get people to
do you want to read a poem? You can read it one.
If you give me notice, I'll go down anywhere, right?
Okay. So when people are allowed to congregate again, we're going to, so the book is based on 2 houses in Peckham where these people lived. Those houses in Peckham are there. So October, November, we're actually going to host like an immersive exhibition, exhibition theatre where people can go in, and there's going to be readings, but there's going to be lights and sound and smells and an absolute, sorry for my language, head fuck. So we're going to have that as soon as we possibly can. It was when we wrote the book it's so annoying. COVID has been so annoying because we were going to release the book in tandem with this exhibition, and it was supposed to be like a lovely 360 kind of work of art thing. Obviously, that all went tits up.
Yep, slightly, isn't it? So it's forced you to reevaluate things, I would say, isn't it? So I know. Like I was hearing talk in your first book. Your first book was quite a big seller at Amazon. I heard of your current publisher as well. So that's what this second book was really frustrating because you couldn't do what you wanted to do on it. So which is typical. Do you have any sort of ideas going on for a third book at the moment, maybe? Or you're not sure yet?
Yeah, I do actually. I've started writing it. It's actually a non-fiction book. So one of the things, having worked about gaslighting, about corporate gaslighting, so one of the things about having worked in advertising for 15 years is that I've accidentally become an expert in toxic company cultures, bullying and gaslighting and microaggressions, and I have a column for a magazine. I write a column for a magazine called Shots, and I talk a lot about culture company culture and how you can fix it and how real people have power and how you can fight back. And so, yeah, I'm writing a book about that. Taking a break from fiction for a little while.
I think you need to sometimes, don't you? So when you're doing like loads of writing and certain things like that, you've got to, I think, sometimes take a break and do something else, or you move into another big project. So do something completely different. So I'm believing that. So I do all kinds of things. I do. If you get you see what stuff I look to all the time. It's just like ridiculous. But like I said, it's best way. I'm the person that just goes in one pool, goes in another the next day, and I move around all the time. I never sit still. But I know proper writing. It's what, sorry?
Like a moth, like a creative moth.
Yeah. Like I'm a moth that never turns into a butterfly. I am, so that's why I own 7 different sorts of moths to pick. So story of my life, anyway. Yeah, but definitely, your book sounds really non-fiction book sounds really interesting. So, do you anticipate when that's likely to be out yet, or are you not sure yet?
No idea. I need to interview loads of people because it's based on people's real life experiences. So it's going to take a really long time to get all of the stories, and I need to speak to psychologists and I need to speak to activists in order to do it justice. So it's going to take a while. It's going to take a good year.
Yeah, sounds like it straight away. I think you're taking as big a project on like that. It's not something you could throw out in a couple of weeks, a couple of months, definitely not.
No,
it's one of those, yeah. I think as well, like, it makes sense that you've gone along and done 2 quite radically different books. Why not do something else completely different? You move on to your next project to keep doing it. Best way to write it, I believe, anyway. Anyway, that's actually all my questions, Amy. So if people want to find out more about you, where are they best going?
I spend way too much time on Twitter. Keano81, Keano 81, and you'll see me ranting and being weird there.
Yeah, I've got you there. I found you there on Twitter, so make sure you follow Amy. So, right, I know you're going to do a few poetries in the second half, aren't you, as well? So we'll take a quick break then. Hang on, everybody. Looking forward to this. See you all in a minute. Thanks again, Amy.
Spoken, mate.
Hi, guys. My turn for a rest now. Straight over to Amy, and she's going to do 4 pieces for us today. Over to you, my friend.
Lovely. Okay, so the first one I'm going to read is called Cat's Ear. You've got to kick down a door, prise the wood from its hinges, so uninvited in my yellow dress. Maleficent beams stalk my frame across the marble floor. My name must have slipped from the guest list. An oversight, no drama. I'm here now. Rotten souls name what they can't understand, some biblical legacy, assumptions of wickedness, like the dandelion before me. Clones succeed. Note that kindly. The thick treacle of familiarity, a hungry saccharine mess, as rigid and safe as a scold's bridle. I hear them say, what have we done? What have we done to bring her here? And I know that whatever I am, it's working.
Brilliant. What a great ending there as well. And the ending there is, no, you tied it all really well there, like it gave real good into the narrative and that thing. Fantastic. Okay. So, should we jump straight into number 2 then?
Number 2. Okay. Yeah. This one's actually my favourite one. Cool. I'll tell you why. It's because I wrote it drunk. And I was feeling angry. But it won't cost me.
I know when I used to drink and write, I used to write absolute gobbledygook, so I couldn't work out what I wrote the next day. So what did you do? I know. Was yours done on the computer, or was it done on your handwritten? The second one when you wrote them.
Computer. I'm the same. I scroll loads of shit that's in my head, like a mad woman, and then I write down all the words that are in my head, and then I put them together like a puzzle. I always see a poem as like a puzzle.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so this one's called Evening Primrose. I remember the first time I died. It was a Saturday, as Saturday is the most common day to die in many ways. Perhaps at the stroke of midnight, what a cliche, I lost feeling. Overdosed on daylight and withered, real dead. Deceased as the beigey white dolphin or dignity. By the morning, I was resurrected like an obvious Jesus or worm cut in half. And then every dusk, as the crafty nightlights beckoned and our city's hot borders whumped, it was pre-written. At the height of my euphoria, I dropped down dead. In the morning, as I was born again, you popped the kettle on and told me to calm down. My dear, I said, holding a glass bowl up to your eyes, I am perfectly calm, and this is what makes you nervous. What is the best rebellion for a woman, they ask. Well, of course, it is to live, I say aloud. It is to really live each day.
Fantastic. Brilliant. I can't believe you wrote that drunk. It shows you, like I said, if I wrote that like that, it would have took me. I would have had to been drunk for 14 hours to get out of that quality.
Yeah, surprisingly coherent.
Yeah. Did that come? Did you have to do much rework on that after when you sobered up?
No, that's the thing I love about being drunk. Normally, I'll edit the shit out of my poems, like 10 drafts. With that one, because I wasn't self-filtering, I just wrote. It's so amazing when you don't have a filter on and you don't second guess yourself. And that's what I did. It was just like, just came out.
That's fantastic. No, I sat there thinking, wow. Well, the last time I was drunk and I wrote a piece, it took me. I ended up chucking it to the bin because I couldn't read what I wrote. So anyway, I was in a bad mood, man. Almost. So anyway, what's your third piece?
My third one is there's a weed called Mind Your Own Business. So this is called Mind Your Own Business. This is the one that was read out by a hip hop magician called Magical Bones. He read it out at the first House of Weeds experience and did such an amazing job. I won't be as good as he was, but I'll just read it. Damn this brain, this energy, this reluctant calling. It's not shyness per se. Heaven knows what shapes us. Damn this rudeness, this hardwired nature. Damn Mother Nature. Damn her delicate green fingers, if fingers are what cast her spells. Damn this endless friction between her and God. Damn them both for crafting this problematic engine. Damn my emerald carpets, those awkward moments, my lazy salutes, uncontrollable in other lands when I felt too damn foreign to cope. Forget them. Damn my fuss. Damn their unwavering spunk, the shouting, the barks that roughen my soul. Damn waiting for wilt. Damn letting the loudest lead. They sent us here. It's a risky game, war. A day later, we would all have been dead.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, really. Again, you have got a really good, all three of your pieces done there today. But I know Nova's reading your book as well. When you do them, your pieces conclude. People know it ends because you like it. You finish up a short story point and you get really good sharp end. So,
like a little sucker punch.
The sucker punch, that's it. Yeah, not a sucker punch. Yeah, definitely. Or you pull the rug out from under the feet, don't you? Yeah, definitely. So, okay, I know you're going to do a tiny little epilogue now, then, aren't you? Instead of the big
tiny one. By the way, that Mind Your Own Business poem, it's about PTSD. For anyone that wants to read the book, it's about a soldier suffering from PTSD. Right, so this one is super. I had a child read this when I did the House of Weeds event because I feel like it's just crazy nonsense, which is my favourite kind of writing. This one's called Crow Garlic, and if anyone knows the Crow Garlic weed, it's just pure mayhem to look at. The Crow Garlic is this weird kind of green bunch of nonsensical kind of leaves that look like they've been just smushed together. So Crow Garlic. Is madness real, or is it a look? A plugged limb, an electrified barnet, ice skating lollipop legs, a souffle of hairy chaos, all thumbs and squiggles and crowing karaoke to a gorgonzola moon. Great big balls of inflorescence like nothing on this planet. We are all a little mad. It looks lovely.
Oh, wow, I see what you mean there, can't we? It's a nice short little piece to finish off with that one. Definitely. So. Oh, that's excellent, that one.
Yeah.
Nice contrast to the other one as well, because it's short conciseness. So, do you find then when you're doing your short little pieces like that, do they take you longer than the full length pieces to do sometimes?
Oh my God, 100%. The short ones are the hardest.
I do. I'm writing. I'm trying to do a haiku a day at the moment, and I'm doing them. They're taking me twice as long as I do to write normal poems. So it's like, you have to put a lot of thought into them more than you do. Oh, excellent.
And you can't, well, you shouldn't, like, you should never waste a word in poetry anyway, obviously. But with shorter poems, people expect to twist, and also every single word has to do so much work. Yeah, like there's one in the book that I wrote about the daisy. Obviously, daisy is an iconic weed, so I couldn't let it down. The daisy one it's only 4 lines long. It took me months. I
bet that took you absolutely months to write that one. I don't.
Yeah.
Just with a couple little lines that you can end up ripping your hair out if you're not careful. That one definitely. So I know I have sometimes. Well, brilliant. Thank you today for this, Amy. It's been a pleasure. So hang around.
It's been so nice talking to you.
Yeah, it's lovely at last. Everyone's wondering why we say at last. It was what March originally we were going to speak, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You were going to come down on the Friday or something, Manchester, weren't you?
Yeah.
Then we went to lockdown that week.
Yes, it was. I know, I was so excited about my day trip to Manchester. And it's, never happened.
Never happened. We'll do it again in the future, right? Definitely. And then we planned it end of May, and then we'll end of June, then it became end of July, like it is now. So, hang on.
Oh, God.
We got there eventually. So,
we did it.
Hey, hallelujah. Right. Hang around, Amy. Quit your mic, seriously. Well, thank you again. It's been a pleasure today. A long last. So, take care, guys and girls. Stay safe. I'll see you all soon. Bye.
Spoken, mate.